Have you ever wondered why, despite all the medications, your joints still feel stiff, swollen, and unreliable? What if the real issue isn't what you're taking, but what your body can't break down and clear out? This isn't just an everyday complaint. In the United States, approximately 53 million adults, over 21% of the population, have been diagnosed with arthritis. And for those aged 75 or older, that number climbs to over half. That means more than 1 out of every 2 seniors is living with the same daily struggle. And it's not just about pain. It's about what pain slowly takes away. The freedom to move. The confidence to do simple things without hesitation. The comfort of waking up and not dreading the first few steps out of bed. Nearly half of those with arthritis report that the condition limits their ability to perform everyday activities, things like walking to the mailbox, bending to tie shoes, or carrying a bag of groceries. Day after day, it chips away at your independence. What breaks my heart the most is hearing patients say, "I'm doing everything I was told, and I still feel stuck," because I've seen that story again and again. People taking painkillers, using ice packs, trying every joint supplement on the shelf, yet the stiffness never fully lets go. That's why I'm so passionate about sharing what we're about to explore, because the real issue may not be your bones or even your joints, but a lack of something that quietly supports healing from within: enzymes. Enzymes are natural molecules that help your body clean up the mess, breaking down proteins, old tissues, and inflammatory leftovers that build up silently and make movement harder. Most people never hear about them in arthritis treatment plans, but I believe they deserve a place at the table. So in the next few parts, I'll walk you through 3 of the most important enzymes that can help your joints feel freer, lighter, and stronger, without more pills and without more guesswork. And if you're new here, or if this gave you a little hope today, I invite you to gently press that subscribe button. It's a simple way to stay connected and to remind yourself that you're not alone in this. There's always another step forward. If you've been living with arthritis for a while, you've probably heard about inflammation, how it's the root cause of the swelling, stiffness, and pain that seems to take over your joints. But here's something most people never hear. The kind of fat your body struggles to process might be quietly feeding that inflammation every single day. That's where lipase comes in. Lipase is a natural enzyme your body uses to break down fats from the food you eat. Simple enough, right? But its role in your joint health goes far deeper than digestion. When your body can't properly break down fats, they don't just sit there harmlessly. They turn into toxic byproducts, little chemical leftovers that float through your system and stir up inflammation. That inflammation doesn't stay in one place. It travels into your knees, your hands, your hips, anywhere joints are already stressed. And suddenly, what started in your gut is now making it harder to open a jar or get up from a chair. Lipase helps prevent that. It breaks those fats down cleanly and completely, reducing the chance that they'll become irritants in your system. And when there's less irritation, there's less swelling, less stiffness, less pain. But that's not all. Lipase also plays another critical role, helping your body absorb key nutrients that your joints absolutely depend on. Vitamins A, D, E, and K are all fat-soluble, which means they need fat and proper fat digestion to get where they need to go. Without enough lipase, even the healthiest diet might not deliver the joint-protecting benefits of these nutrients. For example, vitamin D helps regulate your immune system and keeps inflammation in check. Vitamin K supports the health of your cartilage and bone. Vitamin E protects your joints from oxidative damage. But none of them work well if lipase isn't present to make them absorbable. I remember a patient, Mark, 68 years old, who came to me complaining of joint pain that always flared up after meals. He assumed it was food sensitivity, but when we looked deeper, it turned out his digestion was sluggish, especially with fats. We made small adjustments, added enzyme-rich foods like avocado and kefir, and introduced a low-dose lipase supplement with his heavier meals. Within a few weeks, the post-meal flare-ups had softened. His energy returned. He said, "I didn't know digestion could affect my knees." Here's the truth. Everything is connected. Your gut isn't separate from your joints. When digestion is off, inflammation rises, and when inflammation rises, pain follows. Lipase isn't flashy. It doesn't promise overnight miracles, but what it offers is quiet, reliable support, a way to ease the load on your body so your joints can finally catch a break. It's about giving your system the help it needs to run smoother, recover better, and stop inflammation before it starts. In the next part, we'll meet an enzyme that doesn't just prevent inflammation, but actively clears away the debris left behind. But for now, know this: by supporting your digestion, lipase is already working in the background to protect your joints, one meal at a time. If lipase is the guard preventing trouble, serrapeptase is the cleanup crew moving in to clear the rubble. It's one of those natural helpers that doesn't grab attention, yet quietly does the work that can make movement feel lighter, more fluid. Serrapeptase, also known as serratiopeptidase, is a proteolytic enzyme originally discovered from silkworm intestines. Its specialty is breaking down accumulated proteins like fibrin, dead tissue, and other debris that can cling to joints, creating that cemented stiffness you know too well. Here's how it works in clearer terms. When proteins tighten around your joints, reducing flexibility and fueling inflammation, serrapeptase steps in, gently dissolves those sticky proteins, and helps your tissues regain their natural space to move. It's a cleaner, not a masker. In clinical observations, patients undergoing tooth extractions, for example, who took serrapeptase experienced significantly less swelling and quicker return of normal jaw movement than those on typical anti-inflammatories. That reduced stiffness wasn't cosmetic, it translated into real ease. Extrapolate that to a joint, your knee, your hip, and the implications are clear. Less debris, less barrier, more freedom. Beyond clearing unwanted proteins, serrapeptase also helps modulate the body's inflammatory signals. It interacts with pathways that control prostaglandins and interleukins, messengers that whisper swelling to your cells, helping reduce their overactivation. This isn't theoretical hoping, it's backed by multiple lab and clinical observations where inflammation and swelling markers were lowered after serrapeptase use. But what's most compelling is how it works within your body. It doesn't suppress inflammation brutally. Instead, it supports a balanced clearing process, dissolving what shouldn't be there while allowing your natural healing signals to guide recovery. I once worked with Eleanor, a patient in her mid-72nd, who spoke with a sigh about mornings when even sliding her feet off the bed felt like lifting heavy boots. After adding a gentle dose of serrapeptase on an empty stomach, she described a quiet shift within weeks. Her joints didn't click with protest. When she moved, they unfolded. "It's like someone cleared the room for me," she said. "Not a dramatic cure, but a real change." Of course, we can't promise miracles, but one thing becomes clear. Serrapeptase offers something that many standard treatments don't. It clears the blocks that build up over time. Rather than just covering over the pain, it supports your body in the process of freeing itself. In the next section, we'll explore another powerful ally, proteolytic enzymes like bromelain and papain that break down inflammatory proteins even before they build up. Together, these enzymes form a gentle, layered approach. Prevent the mess, clear the debris, and keep your joints flowing. You're not looking for a quick fix. You're guiding your body back to freedom. We've seen how lipase helps prevent inflammation and how serrapeptase clears what's already stuck. Now, let's meet the frontline responders, the proteolytic enzymes that step in early to break down problematic proteins before they gunk up your joints. Among them, bromelain from pineapple and papain from papaya are perhaps the most familiar, though too many people still overlook them as tools in arthritis care. These enzymes attack harmful protein fragments, damaged cartilage bits, fragments of tissue, inflammatory fibers so they don't build into painful barriers. Think of proteolytic enzymes as silent gardeners removing weeds before they take root. When these proteins accumulate, they invite immune cells, fuel inflammatory messengers, and drag down your natural movement. Bromelain and papain steadily tidy up, helping reduce swelling and ease stiffness not by numbing pain but by clearing the pathway. Scientific studies back this up. In people with osteoarthritis, Oral enzyme blends containing bromelain, trypsin, and protective antioxidants have been shown to reduce pain and improve joint function, sometimes matching common anti-inflammatory medications, but with far fewer side effects. Lab models confirm that these enzymes help rebalance inflammatory signals, dialing down harmful cytokines while allowing healing to take place naturally. Bromelain also calms pain by interacting directly with pain mediators like bradykinin and by reducing oxidative stress in joint tissues. That gentle shift, less chemical irritation, less immune chaos, can translate into real relief. Some patients note that after weeks on these enzymes, the joint doesn't feel hot or swollen. It just moves as if the resistance has been lifted. I remember one longtime gardening hobbyist, Harold, who once told me that bending to plant his tulips felt like wading through mud. He added a bromelain papain blend to his routine always after meals, as advised, and within a month, he felt fewer tugs and stiffness when kneeling. Not dramatic, but enough to make planting season feel hopeful again. Importantly, proteolytic enzymes tend to be well tolerated, especially when taken with food or as part of a balanced supplement. They don't suppress your immune system like some drugs do. Instead, they support a more natural, regulated inflammation response. Of course, research isn't perfect. Many studies are small or use combination formulas, and more work is needed on long-term effects and optimal dosing. But what stands out is how these enzymes operate respectfully, gently guiding your body back toward balance rather than forcing it. Here's how they fit into the overall journey. Lipase guards against inflammation from food and nutrient blockages. Serrapeptase clears away the built-up debris. And proteolytic enzymes prevent new buildup by keeping proteins in check before they cause trouble. As we see these helpers working together, you're building more than short-term relief. You're supporting a path toward lasting joint resilience. And in the next part, we'll bring everything together into a practical, gentle action plan you can follow day to day to support your body's healing rhythm. Now that we've met our helpers, lipase that prevents inflammatory triggers, serrapeptase that clears existing debris, and proteolytic enzymes like bromelain and papain that dismantle new buildup, it's time to bring them together in a practical, gentle plan you can follow each day. First, consistency is key. These enzymes aren't like a quick fix. They work quietly and gradually. In one clinical comparison for people with osteoarthritis, an enzyme blend comparable to bromelain and trypsin showed similar relief in pain and stiffness as ibuprofen, but without the harsh side effects many seniors worry about. That means with steady, thoughtful use, the benefits can be real and sustainable. Start your approach by focusing on meals. Lipase is most effective when taken with fatty foods. Think avocado slices, a splash of olive oil, nuts, so that it supports both digestion and vitamin absorption. For serrapeptase, taking it on an empty stomach about 30 minutes before breakfast allows it to circulate freely and target inflammatory debris directly. Proteolytic enzymes are flexible, but many people prefer to split the dose, some with meals, some on an empty stomach, to balance digestive and systemic action. Gentle reminders: if you take medications that affect blood clotting, talk with your doctor before adding serrapeptase. It has a safety profile that's generally favorable, but because it breaks down proteins, it can slightly amplify bleeding risk if combined with certain blood thinners or supplements like garlic or fish oil. Here's how a typical day might look. Breakfast begins with enzymes targeting inflammation before adding food, followed by lipase with lunch, ensuring fats and nutrients are well processed. Proteolytic combinations can be split across meals or taken between them, depending on how your digestion and comfort feel. Real people experience real shifts. For instance, a gentleman in his early 70s started this method. He used serrapeptase before breakfast, lipase with lunch, and a bromelain papain blend after dinner. After a few weeks, he reported waking up with less tension in his knees and discovering he could stand longer during his morning routine. Like my joints regained their patience, he told me. Science supports this layered approach. Reviews of therapeutic enzymes show how combining different types, those that support digestion, those that clean debris, those that prevent buildup, not only reduces inflammatory signals, but may also promote tissue repair. Lab and clinical models demonstrate reductions in swelling and improvements in mobility alongside a favorable safety profile when used appropriately. Always remember, start small, observe how your body responds, and adjust with patience. These helpers are allies, not warriors. They don't force change, they support it. And over time, that quiet, steady support can help your joints feel freer, your movement lighter, and your confidence restored. In our final part, we'll return to the heart of the journey, tying everything together with an uplifting message of hope and empowerment, because you deserve to move with comfort, ease, and a restored sense of freedom. We've walked through a quiet, natural path, one that doesn't rely on promises of quick fixes or harsh medications, but instead supports the body's own rhythm of healing. Lipase, serrapeptase, bromelain, papain. These enzymes don't speak loudly. They don't numb the pain, but they gently guide your system back toward balance, one step at a time. And if you've stayed with me until now, I want to thank you not just for listening, but for being open to another way, open to giving your body a chance to heal from the inside out. Maybe your joints have felt stiff for years. Maybe every morning feels like a slow negotiation with your knees, or your hands don't move quite the way they used to. That doesn't mean healing is out of reach. It just means your body might need the right kind of support, something more natural, something that works with you, not against you. What these enzymes offer is not magic. It's quiet, consistent help. A way to remove what doesn't belong, to process nutrients more efficiently, to ease inflammation at the source, not just cover it up. And with time, consistency, and care, that support can change how you move through your day. You might notice your walk feels less forced, that getting out of bed doesn't take as long, that your hands open that jar without a second thought. These aren't big things on paper, but in your life, they mean everything. You deserve that. You deserve to feel safe in your body again, to wake up without fear of pain, to do the small things that bring joy, gardening, walking, playing with grandkids, not with hesitation, but with quiet confidence. I've worked with many patients over the years who felt like they had tried everything. But when we simplified things, supported digestion, reduced inflammatory debris, and used these enzymes consistently, they didn't just feel better, they felt more in control. And that's the message I want to leave you with today. You are not stuck. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's trying every day to repair, to move, to live. These enzymes are simply tools to help it do what it already wants to do. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video gave you something to think about, or even just a bit of hope, I'm truly glad you stayed. And if you'd like to keep learning with us, feel free to subscribe to Golden Health. It's one simple way to stay connected to natural, thoughtful ways to support your body as you age. No pressure, just an invitation. Because healing doesn't happen in one day. It happens one informed step at a time. And today, you've taken one of those steps.